Welcome to Java 8 series. Today we are going to start on most frequently asked questions in Java 8. So whenever you're going for an interview, you will definitely be asked to write or to explain Java 8 features, and also there will be definitely a list of questions which would be asked to solve it. So you will be definitely asked coding practice. They wanted to test your knowledge that whether you are brilliantly knowing the concepts of Java 8. So today we are going to look into two problems. Let's get started. So if you look at my screen, uh, there is one problem statement which is written over here. So if you see, this is the first statement. So this is one of the most frequently asked questions. Like they wanted to understand, like they will give you a problem statement saying that I have a list of employees, and there will be some attributes like the ID, the name, city, department, age, etc. So there will be few attributes which they will be listing it down, and they will ask you to. They will say that this is an input. So let's say they give you a list of inputs as an array list. So they will say that you will be provided a list. I want an output like this. So for the first questions, what I just came across and most frequently asked in the interview questions are converting a list to a map. So map as in like converting so making it as a group uh, group by. So grouping by. So if you see there are different utility methods which has provided. So the Java 8 has got a lot of utility methods been provided. So we'll look into that. So if you see the line number 14, right? So there is an employee create list. So we are manually creating this particular list over here. So we have a class which is an employee. As I explained, there will be ID, name, age, city. If you look at this particular uh, class, you will see there is an implementation of toString, there is an implementation of equals and hash code, there is an implementation of a constructor, there are all getter setter methods for it. Okay, so a complete class which has got all the attributes and employee class. We will go back to the main program. So here, if you see, uh, first of all, like whatever the list has been provided, right? We need to convert into a string. So one of the features which was introduced in Java 8 is stream API. So stream is something which you'll be able to perform some operation on it. There are intermediate operations, there are terminal operations, there are n number of operations which are provided, which like it's kind of utility where you will be able to achieve your target to within few lines of code. So there has been a lot of utility methods which has been introduced in it. So we'll slowly deep dive into all those things. So this is one of the starting series, as I said. So first, as I said, we are converting the list. So the input is the list. So from that particular list, we are converting it to a string. So anything which we need to perform an action, the intermediate operations, we need to first convert it into a string. The next thing is that then there is a collect method. So if you see this particular collector, if it has got an grouping function, if you see there is one class which has gotten a grouping function. So if you see here, there is an we have grouped it with the department. So I wanted to list out all the employees which are based on the certain department. Okay, so if you see here, there is another concept or introduction feature which has been introduced in Java 8, that is we have made use of method reference over here. So if you see here, we are directly calling that particular method with the method reference. So if you see this particular characters, this is for method references. So we'll definitely go into that in the further videos. But currently, like with respect to the method references, we have made use of this. So in order to get a a list of employees based on certain criteria, right? So we are actually, the criteria here is get department. Based on the department, I will need an employee. So if you go to this particular create employee list, right, you will see I've created an 5 employees. Okay, so employee 1, employee 2, 3 and 4 and 5. I've named them all, like if you see here, these are all like in the constructor I've created an object of it, and then I've added it to the list. So you will see all like the departments, sales, finance, IT. Once you get this particular list, we, as you'll see, we have to convert that particular list stream, and then you have to perform this particular operations here. So if you see, there is a collector.group by, so which will take as an input of like which type of on basis of what you need to sort that particular uh, list. So if you see here, you will be having a department or based on this. So there is an so this will actually create a map. So here if you see, the key would be the ID department, and then you'll get the list of employees of employer. Let's say there are 2 employees which are in the same department, so it will be added over here. So once I get that particular map, then I actually iterated using this particular for each with the key and value, and then I printed it. So let's look at the output, how it is going to be. So if you see here, the department is finance. There is 1 employee. Department with IT, there are 2 employees. There are department with sales, and there are 2 employees. If you see it, if you can look at this particular, this is sorted with the department wise. I hope this is clear and like this is understood by yourself. Let's go to the second problem statement. I've already written this particular code to in order to save time, and then I can just deep dive into the concept instead of writing that particular code. So the second problem statement is I wanted to multiply all the elements in the array list. So first of all, the input is like they will be providing me an input array, the integer array. Okay, so they want us to provide an final output with all the multiplications of an each element. Okay, so what I've done is that, so if you see, first of all here, as the array is provided, first of all, in order to perform any operation, I needed to either convert it to any of this particular list, right? So so that I can perform that. So there are from the arrays dot list, there is an method which has been provided to convert an array into a list. Okay, so this is one of the most used uh, way to convert an array into a list. Okay, so once you convert this particular array to a list, so you will be able to perform the stream operation. So as I said, there is an introduction of stream API in Java 8. So based on that, we have already converting that to a stream. Once we get that particular stream, we can perform the terminal operation. So reduce is one of the terminal operations methods, which basically combines, like if there is a list of array or list of them, right? So you can reduce it to combine the result and then produce it. Okay, so there are 3 types of reduce methods. We will dig down to one by one later in the later videos, but I just for this particular problem statement, this one of the uh, methods is suffice here to perform this particular. So what you can see here with the reduce, with these 2 attributes, this is to be parameters being passed up, we are actually multiplying. So the requirement was multiplying all the elements in an array. So if you see here, this is particularly reducing it, and then it will be multiplying each output, then it will be multiplying it. So if you see, I will be getting an optional here. So this is one of the another Java 8 features which has been introduced along with Java 8. So optional feature, I think if you see, you'll be able to stop, or you will be able to handle the null pointer exceptions, and you can easily be able to write a code which is like we will not be able to throw a null pointer exception. You will be able to handle it very clearly. So let's see the output of this. See here, if you see here, the output of here is that multiplication of all of this particular one by one to will get the an output here. So finally what from this particular operation will be getting an optional. So in order to get that particular exact value, we need to perform an get operation. Hope this video is able to make you all understand the new features. We'll be adding some more videos for all the Java 8 features. So one by one, this is one of the first video on this particular line. Thank you for watching.